Hi, I'm Yapped, and this is Yoked.
I'd like to see your mouth do something else, though.
This mouth does his dog shit.
This is Yapped, and that's Yoked. I'm Yapped. You're Yoked. You're Yapped. She's a Yap. I'm a Yoked.
You had two parents that loved you growing up.
I tricked her into marrying me.
I'm mic'd up, so anything stupid I say goes on the internet. I need attention or I'll die.
The codependent fuck.
And we are back.
Hopefully with video this time.
Let's hope so. I mean, the red dot's there, the red dot's here, red dots in your eyeballs.
We're a lot of things, but tech advance is not one of them.
We are technologically advanced and savvy. We're just
idiots.
I think that covers it the majority of the way. Yes.
What you doing there with your twitching toes?
Let my restless leg syndrome.
It's literally driving me nuts.
Ay, can never make you happy.
So you cross your feet and do it with the other foot.
You know what's funny? It's entirely subconscious. It's not even like I'm not thinking about it at all.
Guys,
like, it just started going again.
He's fucking with me.
So for my entire life, okay, here's the trauma my parents imparted on me as a child. My entire life was spent watching my mom's foot shake when we would, because we, as a family, it was pretty like consistent for us, 8 o'clock at night. We'd sit down, watch like American Idol or Survivor or whatever fucking show was on at the time.
And this is why you're a couch kid?
Yes, this is why I'm a couch kid. And my mom would sit on the sofa that had the kick-out recliner, and she would just sit there like this all night long. No one said anything ever, and then eventually I picked it up. So here we are. Yeah, it just goes. Like, I don't have control over it.
What's it like to have a family that likes each other?
Well, when a mommy and a daddy love each other very much.
I'm gonna go off myself now. I'm not allowed to say the K word.
Yeah, I don't think that one's any better. It's not much of a roundabout substitution at all.
I'm gonna show you a roundabout substitution.
I don't know what that means, but I like it.
Just roundhouse kick you.
Don't turn me on.
I'm a lot of things, but I am still able to get my leg up and knock you out.
Okay, not making comments on this podcast.
And break. We're going to talk about hills we would die on.
Well, better yet, welcome to another episode of Yapped and Yoked. I'm Yoked.
Over that.
That's Yapped. She's fucking over it. We're on to a new episode. And this one is Hills We Shall Die On.
Yeah.
Funny enough, we had to rack our brains on this a little bit because I think you and I are
I think I have a lot of hills I'd die on, and unfortunately not one of them came to me when I needed to come up with content.
I think we have hills we would die on, but we don't have...
I also don't feel like I have a lot of absolutes.
That's what I mean. Like, we have hills that we would die on, but also we don't have the energy or the time or the care to be like, I'm going to force somebody else to die on this hill with me. If you don't want to be on this hill, that's your fucking problem. Get the fuck off.
That's why we only talk to one another.
Just about.
And microphones.
We keep the circle small.
Very small. It's 2 dots.
But no, actually, it's funny enough that we're doing this podcast today. I saw a Instagram post yesterday, and it was basically a rebuttal to when you claim that you have a hill that you will die on, and somebody asking why they would die on that hill or something like that. And they're like, well, one of us is dying on this hill. Might not be me. Could be you. And that's the only rebuttal that you really need, because it doesn't always have to be me dying on the hill that I believe or support. It could be the other person trying to fight their way up the hill.
Mm-hmm. I still don't get it.
It's okay. Over your head. Anyway, we have 6 or 7 spots today that we're going to talk about for hills we shall die on, will die on, would die on.
Let's be honest, I don't care so much that I'd die on any hill, but I have some hot takes. So, without further ado.
As I say, let's pull them up.
A little bump. I'm going to go start with one of mine.
Yeah, because I got a rant for my first one.
Well, why don't you go for it then?
Well, I think most people would understand this about me, but This one is effort solves more problems than optimization does.
Last night I used optimal, optimization, and optimize in a sentence, and
And my head almost exploded
Connor almost left me.
for a solid 30 seconds. No, let's just boil it down to the hill I will die on is that your search for optimization is just a bunch of fucking bullshit, and it's your way of masking everything with an excuse. It's just a bunch of bullshit. Mm-hmm. The optimization people need to be focused on and looking for is just discipline of consistent healthy habits. Wake up at the same time each day. Have a good morning routine. Have a good night routine. Drink adequate amounts of water. Rest enough. Train hard enough. All the little bits and pieces of things that 99% of people fuck all suck ass at.
I like fuck all suck ass. That's probably going to be
That
my
is
new one-liner.
the correct metric and unit of measurement for the effort people put into the shit that actually works.
Yeah.
Yet everyone and their mother is on TikTok, Instagram, or some place online looking for optimization or optimized of whatever sciences or influencers are talking about nowadays.
I think now more than ever because of the normalization of peptides. People are like, oh, like, I'm just going to throw in this, and this. And it's like, baby, you haven't eaten anything green in a decade.
Yeah.
How about before we hopped all of that, we just get a nutrient in the system? I think we are seeing it a lot right now, too, because our ads are run specifically to, like, PEDs and people who want to run PEDs and start PEDs and optimize their PED use. And, like, we were talking to this kid, and he was like, yeah, like, I want to get up to 250. I'm 180 now. And he's literally eating less than I am right now. And he sends me, like, his thing. He's like, well, I'm not, like, a big food guy. I'll drink a shake. And he's literally eating, like, I think his entire carbohydrate for the entire day was 40 grams of oats. And I literally responded and said, my bikini competitor wife eats more than this.
Yeah.
Because I pretend to be you. Surprise.
If you're listening to this, sorry, it wasn't me on the other end of the phone.
Sometimes it is, but rarely.
But no, that's the reality of it. People just want to look for an easy route.
Yeah.
And the trend over the past 18 months has been the word optimized. The easy route 5 years ago was keto. The easy route 10 years ago was the Atkins diet. Easy route 15 years ago was Weight Watchers. It all has a different name, and it's all, again, just another form of bullshit for people to buy into, to comfort themselves into thinking that they're putting in effort that's going to make a damn difference. And it fucking doesn't.
Well, the reality is if you locked into any one of those things, it will make a difference. But all it is a calorie deficit.
Yeah. And that's the same. That just goes for the same. Like, you're looking to optimize
But here's the
something
thing.
of your body.
The same way that if I ate like trash every day and didn't go to the gym and didn't train hard and didn't get steps and didn't drink water, but I put Anavar in, I'm probably not going to see much of a difference. Maybe a small one, very minimal. But especially like I come off that cycle and I'm going to look the same or worse. And so now that's happening with peptides. People are like, oh, like I'm going to lose fat or I'm going to do this thing or I'm going to have optimal whatever. And it's like, okay, yeah, in one sense of the word, like you could do absolutely nothing and put SS31 in and you're probably going to feel a little bit better throughout the day. But like, how about you just work on getting good night's sleep?
Yeah.
Drink enough water.
I mean, look at me.
Eat carbs.
2 weeks ago, I was sleeping terribly. Felt the worst I felt in years.
Yeah.
And then I went to my coach and I was like, hey, I'm actually going to drop all the PEDs. I'm not going to take anything special or different or extra. I just need to fix my sleep. And all I did was focus on my sleep for 4 nights and changed my life in a very short period of time.
And guess what? Your weight stayed the same.
My weight went up. my bodybuilding factors all improved just with sleep and on 1/6 of the amount of drugs. 2 examples I want to make on this point, and then we're going to move on. First example is a client yesterday and I having a conversation. She had taken GLP in the past, and I asked what was her experience with that. Would she be open to peptides again and or more? The answer was yes, but here's my history with semaglutide. Reading through it, again, not to discredit anybody because everybody's experience is extremely different, but reading through it, you just read the fact that the dosage, the results, and what she experienced screamed I was trying to use semaglutide to produce results while everything else I was doing outside of it was not in line with achieving results. Where if she didn't take the drug at all, or the GLP at all, and then just focused on diet and hydration and activity first, she would have felt 1,000 times better versus looking to a drug or to a GLP to optimize the situation. There was nothing to optimize. That optimization word is the same thing as performance enhancing drugs. If there's no good performance there to begin with, what the fuck is it enhancing? Nothing. To the second point, another client of mine that I don't know much about due to poor communication, but that's a different story, asked me to review his labs yesterday, give him the pre-lab questionnaire. The day before the labs, how much water did you consume? 60 ounces. Not even remotely close to an adequate amount of water.
I would say for a male, that's about a third to a fourth.
Yeah. That's like even let's be generous and say that was half of the amount of water he should have been drinking in a given day. That's generous. He's someone who wants to go to the gym, who wants to improve, who wants to get better, who wants to feel better and look better and all these things, but doesn't even do the bare basics of hydrating himself, doesn't even do the bare basics of hydrating himself properly when also looking at his kidney markers because that is what his doctors want to look at. So now you're going into labs dehydrated, skewing potential lab markers because you are dehydrated.
To be also clear and fair, we give very, 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 very explicit pre-lab instructions.
As specific as it gets.
I mean, it's not an overwhelming amount of information, but the text is this long. How many rest days? How much water both the day before and day of? Ladies, how many days from the exact day that you start bleeding that you should go get them drawn? Closest to waking time. Like, there's fucking instructions in there. So you either don't care or you don't fucking read or you don't know how to read. Because, like, those are literally the only three options.
Yeah, and let me promise you, we only work with adults. So really fucking hope these people know how to read. Still up for debate.
There was that No Child Left Behind program. How do you think I got here?
But to the point being, 90% of what you're looking for in the terms and wording of optimization is just improvement on the basic shit you don't do well to begin with.
Fact.
That will get you more results than any other GLP, any other drug, any other peptide, or any other program somebody is selling you with the word optimal next to it. Because at that point, it's just a sales pitch.
Yeah, my rebuttal is like, you can optimize something, but most people aren't doing anything to optimize. So, like, do you want to say that,
Be
like,
optimized.
A client that's worked with us for a substantial amount of time and has now become, let's call it, an expert at getting their water, food, steps, all of that in, we can now optimize what they're doing by putting in a peptide. We can now optimize what they're doing by putting in, like, even something like a yohimbine in fat loss or whatever, like, so, like, over-the-counter, easy, simple, like, not even on the side of performance-enhancing drugs. But, like, these are people that are locked in on everything else.
Yeah.
And, like, for my clients, like, I won't even give them cardio till they have adherence of a 10 because I'm like, the fuck am I going to have, like, give you another box to check if you literally have missed 6 meals this week? Or on the contrary, overeat 6 times this week.
It's like you're giving yourself a 60% on adherence. If I give you one more thing to do, cool, now that's 50% on your adherence.
Yeah, my biggest thing is, like, I would rather lower our expectations and you have 100 on adherence every week than add one more thing and you have an 80. Like,
Agreed.
I just think it's so stupid.
Agreed. So, moral being, if you're looking to optimize anything, at least let there be something to be optimized once you're executing on all those check boxes that will benefit you in the long and short term.
I like it.
I dig it. All right, girl, what's yours?
I think this one is relevant to where I'm at right now, so we can both have an opinion on it, and I like it. So there is a time to embrace the suck, and there is a time to be smart. And the reason I wrote that down is because I am, without getting into like a crazy amount of detail, I've been like in and out of prep all year just due to some circumstances, whether it be changing shows, having to hire a new coach, body fighting me a little bit, we'll call it. And I started dieting officially in December 5th was the exact day. And I'm fucking tired. And we did take like a 10-week break, so to say. And I'm on week 2 of like a new prep. And looking at Connor yesterday, and like before I could even like say it, he's like, yeah, I've observed like you're sleeping more, you're lethargic, you don't want to do things. Like he asked me yesterday after the gym or before the gym even, he's like, what do you want to do today? And I literally was like, sleep. And like the way I'm feeling right now is much more in line with like how somebody would feel it maybe 8 weeks out,
6 weeks out.
And I'm not. I'm like over double that. And so, you know, back in, I guess I was 2022.
21.
I went through a prep where we weren't nearly as smart as we are now. And so when my body wasn't responding, it was just more cardio, less food, more cardio, less food, more cardio, less food. And by the end of it, I was in a really shitty position internally, mentally as well. But, you know, we really just drove me into the ground to the point where, like, I no longer had a responsive body. And I said to Connor, I'm like, you know, I'm trying to figure out if I'm being soft or if I'm needing to just say, like, embrace the suck. Like, it is what it is. Some days suck, some days don't. But I'm heavy and I'm tired and I'm exhausted. And, like, the drive for both bodybuilding items and non-bodybuilding items is just not there. And I always notice and I can tell where I'm at from like an energy standpoint based on like my willingness to create content. And I have like a pile of content that like I don't want to edit, I don't want to film, I don't want to post, I don't even want to post a story because I don't want to answer DMs. And I'm like, damn, that's when you know I'm fucking tired.
Oh, yeah.
So what were you going to say?
Well, I get into that same exact mental hole as when I'm in that spot. I don't want to post content, don't want to do anything of that nature that's social.
Yeah.
But no, you and I in the same boat of things very recently, I'd say, where you've had moments in the past where you've had to pull back, pivot, change direction. But just 4 weeks ago, when sleep started to get turned to shit, and my body started to be less responsive. Blood glucose started to go up, sleep score started to go down, blood pressure started to go up even further than I wanted to see it, and it just kept trickling down, getting worse and worse. And what I do, called Mike, and said, all right, we got to pivot because this isn't part of quote unquote embracing the suck that's necessary. This is a moment where I have to assess and say, all right, something ain't fucking right. My body's throwing red flags. Luckily, we were able to have discussions with people around us where I was like, okay, Connor, it's your sleep. It's sleep apnea. You don't have any oxygen going to your brain. Mm-hmm. That's the fucking problem.
Yeah.
But to get to that point took some...
Sometimes it truly is working smarter, not harder.
I was going to say, it took some wisdom to be able to make that call.
And I think that's where I struggle, and I also lack trust in myself, is I can outwork anyone. Like, I might not be good at something, but I can always rely on my work ethic to get me to where I want to be.
Good. I was just fixing the volume.
You stress me the fuck out.
No, I was just fixing the volume. Go ahead.
Why do you always do that in the middle of a recording?
Well, I always look at it to make sure it's good.
Connor's words very often are that I'm tenacious to a fault. And so that's where I have a lack of trust in myself, because I also know that I, as a people pleaser and amongst many other things, will just like put my head down, shut up, be like, that's not relevant, don't need to tell my coach, I'll just fucking do the work and be quiet about it. And then we end up in a bad spot.
Well, the joke we tell coaches that work with you is like, yeah, you won't know she was in the hospital until a week later.
Well, and like the joke, like I think that became very real when in 2021, when all of that was happening, when I went to Nelson and he was like, yeah, so if you're here now, that means you were here 2 weeks. Or he said, if I'm hearing about this now, that means you were here 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, and I'm not going to say that's a good thing.
No.
In some settings, it's good to just be like, cool, I'm not letting emotion take over. I'm just going to like do my shit. And I feel like in a lot of ways I operate very robotically. Like there's a lot of shit I don't want to do. And I just fucking don't think about it. Don't say anything. Just get it done. And again, that's where the lack of trust in myself comes from, because I'm like, I know I will push myself to a place that is not easy to get myself out of.
Or just not healthy at all.
Yeah. And so I think that the lesson in that is that while sometimes you do just need to put your head down and work, we are in a much smarter era of bodybuilding, health, and every industry across the board. And very literally, sometimes the answer is just not to work harder, that there's other solutions and smarter approaches.
Yeah, and we notice that more now in modern bodybuilding preps than ever, where more rest, more fatigue management is being put into play. Please, if you're listening to this and you hear me use the words fatigue management, I promise for 99.9999% of you who hear me say those words, it doesn't fucking apply to you. Deloads during a prep. I took
refeeds, cardio
breaks, all of these other mechanisms of playing it smart in a prep, because we're smarter now to know that just burying somebody with more cardio and less calories isn't the only way to skin that cat. Similarly enough, it's not the best way to do it either when you're trying to produce a look on stage. I've told probably 6 guys this same thing in the past month. It is not a weight loss competition. If you want to just focus on it that way and focus on the scale, that's great. We can come in looking as skinny as you fucking want on stage. But last I checked, if you're a guy, probably also if you're a bikini athlete or up, and somebody calls you skinny while you're about to walk on stage, I would go walk into traffic. And that would be the end of it, because that's not a descriptive word you want to hear as a bodybuilder.
No, if somebody, like, coming from somebody who would love to have less size than she does for just like average daily use, like not on stage, if somebody called me skinny, I would probably have an aneurysm.
Yeah.
And that's that, baby.
And that's from somebody who does, to a degree,
want to be skinny. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, for those who don't know, I'd love to have less size and be like more on like the skinny side of things, because like for bodybuilding purposes I walk around with this much muscle, but like would love to not. For bodybuilding purposes, like I need more and want more, but like if I was just gonna walk away from the sport today, I would be as catabolic as possible for like a year.
Yeah, I believe that entirely.
Like, talk about a dream body. I would love to like have Alex Earl's like long skinny limbs.
I was just gonna say Alex Earl.
What's next?
I'm gonna go on to my hill I'll die on that I just thought of as I got emotional about fatigue management. Oh, no. The hill I'm going to die on is fatigue management. It's a load of fucking bullshit, and it's the excuse that the internet and world is using right now to not work harder.
Love that.
Yeah, because look at every other sport ever, and they're not having discussions on fatigue management when there's a gymnast who's training for 6 hours in a given day doing backflips and fucking putting their neck and their spine on the line. And that's not a conversation that's coming up. The conversation is, okay, girl, did you eat 4,000 calories today? Because that's what you need to support your activity. All right, sweet, go do another backflip. And then, okay, cool, you fell. Get the fuck up, go do another backflip.
Fact.
But now in the fitness industry and fucking bodybuilding industry, oh, you didn't PR today? You must be fatigued. You probably need to go eat a burger and try less hard.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, dude. Like, the majority of people just need to be in the gym doing more.
Yeah.
The majority of people just need to do fucking more.
It's actually so interesting you say that, because I've actually never thought about it that way. But for somebody that coached gymnastics at a very high level, like, if my kid didn't show up to practice and came to me and was like, I needed a rest day, I mean, I'm not going to incriminate myself here, but like, we would have been like, get your ass in the gym. Like, there was no, I mean, and I was a very like hard and loving coach. I think all of my athletes would say that. Like, I demanded the best, but they knew that the demand came from a place of love for them, their dreams, my goals as a coach. And so I was like, you want to win this weekend? I don't give a fuck that you're tired. Yeah. Get in the gym. And I'll also tell you this. I mean, maybe this is the lack of frontal lobe from a 12-year-old, but like they weren't asking for rest days usually. They fucking wanted to be there.
Yep.
Like when they got to the place where like social life and teenageisms and whatever the fucks was coming into play, like the love was fading out and they were finding passion in other things, and that's fine and respectable. And that's why so few make it to the elite and college level, is because like you sacrifice everything.
Yeah.
Truly everything.
But same with bodybuilding.
12-year-old. No,
yes.
But that's the difference.
Yes.
And so that's when it was like, all right, well, she's going to try cheer. Like, to be fair, 1 out of 100 make it to college gymnastics. 1 out of 1,000 make it to elite. Let her go do something that she has a better odd at if like the passion is not there, because you have to be fucking obsessed. And that's what you're demanding of a 10-year-old.
And I think that, granted that's for a 10-year-old, but I think that translates perfectly to bodybuilding. You have to be obsessed to be able to do it. And then you need to be able to put aside your fucking, I was a little tired today, so I'm not going to do it. No, it doesn't matter how tired you are. It doesn't matter how fatigued you are. It doesn't matter how achy you are.
I mean, and that comes back to last week's episode about the ideation of bodybuilding. If like you don't love it enough that the only thing you're looking forward to is your free meal and your rest day, like we have a whole different conversation to have that you're not fucking ready for.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And
the conversation is simple. Like, your fatigue management is nothing other than mental and, let's use this fun wording, lack of optimization of recovery. Meaning you're not focusing on your sleep, you're not focusing on your rest days being recoverable, you're not doing other necessary items on your checklist to keep your body moving in the right direction, etc., etc. And you just want to lean into the easy way out because somebody on TikTok or somebody on Instagram or somebody on YouTube used the words fatigue management, and now you think that applies to you. It doesn't.
Fact.
It really, really, really fucking doesn't. You just need to work harder. And stop using jargon words and stop being a pussy. I think that really summarizes that.
I like it.
On to your next hill.
I have a hill that kind of correlates to just like leaning on things as an out. And so people mistake protecting their peace for being disrespectful. And what I really mean by that is I think we've gotten so comfortable hiding behind screens and like not having communication that you ghost somebody or you don't reply or you literally just never show up to a job again or whatever the case may be. And you're taking it as, oh, I'm doing that to protect my peace. Oh, I'm not going to answer that to protect my peace. And it's like, okay, and that is just a sign of disrespect. Like if you decide to never answer your coach because you're upset they held you accountable and you go, well, I'm not going to answer that because I'm protecting my peace. You're just a fucking asshole.
Yeah, at that point.
And I think that that's like becoming more and more of a thing. And it's actually interesting. I was working on this content project with this girl, Megan, and she's a recruiter. And she's like, you know, we all want to talk about how jobs ghost applicants. But I can't tell you on my side of things how many applicants I see ghost jobs, which is crazy because people are screaming with their hands up. I'm begging for a job. I need an opportunity, whatever have you. But then they don't even have the wherewithal to be like, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because like for me, something I've had to force myself to do as an adult, as a business owner is like, if we interview somebody and don't take the next step with them, and this is something I learned from a previous boss of mine, I actually reach out to them and tell them where they could have been a better applicant and how to improve for the future, because I think it's my due diligence for this industry to grow, because we can sit here and voice our frustrations about coaches, lack of education, lack of knowledge, lack of all the things. Oh, I got on stage once and now I'm a coach. And like, we can complain about that till we're blue in the face. But I can't complain about it if I didn't tell the person that's applying, hey, you know, you have so much potential. If you do these things and come back in a year, you might be a great candidate. And so if we want this industry to improve and we want to stop getting client applications from somebody who blew their prep, ghosted the athlete in peak week, like fucked their digestion, whatever it is, it's also my job to be like, hey, this is where you could be better. And I think like that's just one example. Like I could very literally be like, no, I'm not going to tell that person they weren't good enough and I'll just protect my bandwidth in peace. But at the same time, like rising tides raise all ships. So if I want this industry to be better, I play a role in that. And I think that goes for relationships with friends, family, anything. Like I will say the coin to that is at a certain point, you have to protect your peace as a family
100%.
member, especially because there is this belief around, oh, like your family's your family, blood is blood, like blood is thicker than water. You need to, at a certain point, I fucking took my hands off and said, you know what? We're just never going to align and that's okay. But even like with friends, like I've gotten really good about being like, hey, I adore you as a human. I just don't think we see eye to eye at this. And like, I would rather have somebody do that to me and me wake the fuck up than them be like, you know what, I'm going to protect my peace. We'll never talk again.
Yeah, I think I don't have as many real world applications of this one maybe as you do. But one example I can think of personally is actually where I did have to set some, not boundaries I'd say, but like with my family around my bodybuilding. Like for 5 years of my career, I didn't talk to my family about bodybuilding at all. If I was competing, they probably knew about it
Maybe
2 weeks before I was competing, maybe if that. Like my family didn't know I turned pro until like 4 months after I turned professional because I didn't bother to tell them because there was no peace around the topic in that conversation. I think it wasn't until just this year where there was more of a, okay, cool, we can kind of see eye to eye on this because now I'm a full-grown adult, I'm married, I have a business and do well for myself, where my parents like, oh, okay, this isn't, I guess, like some stupid hobby where he's just taking a bunch of steroids and being a fucking idiot, and realized like, okay, this is the life he built, so they can see a little bit more eye to eye on that. But there was that protection of peace based on that boundary. But similarly, even just with friends, I think it's good to have friends that sometimes you don't see eye to eye on everything with.
Sure.
But then it comes down to some emotional maturity between you and that friend to be able to navigate what you don't see eye to eye on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like politically is the only direction I can think of at the given moment in time. Or, yeah, I'd say that. Like, I don't see everything politically the same way other people do, and that goes for everybody in the world. But like, I'll ask Mike for his opinion on a bunch of stuff, and I get his perspective, which I value, but then don't always agree with it. We'll have a good conversation with him about it, and I'm like, all right, cool, that's whatever. And then we'll talk about something debaucherous 10 minutes later, and we move on to the next topic, where we're emotionally mature enough to be like, well, I don't need Mike to be quote-unquote 100% correct. I don't need Connor to be quote-unquote 100% correct, because there really isn't that in most conversations when you're friends and you're understanding each other. So it's fair to just say, okay, I can have these boundaries, but respect my friend, and whatever I believe, they believe. It's not gonna, I can quote unquote protect my peace by being emotionally mature around it. Guess that's my take on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think at the end of the day, like, in most cases, it's just an out to not put 3% more effort in.
Yeah.
Because really the only separation between walking away and protecting your peace and the opposite of that, and like, is just being a little bit more present and making one comment, one text, one email, one statement of why you don't agree with that thing. And it's not always necessary, but I think that in a lot of cases it's your due diligence, and you should.
I'd say it's your duty. And Actually, I think a really good example of this is just also being able to have the balls to stand up for yourself where you do need to protect your peace or something of that nature. I think the perfect example is of when anybody that we come into contact with in a new group setting or a new friend who has the shitty habit of being like, oh fuck, I'm gonna go kill myself in whatever context they want it to be in. Ever since you and I started dating though, I took it upon myself to be like, all right, it's my duty to protect my wife's peace because that wording and that phrasing coming from anybody around us, she doesn't like, therefore I do not like. Therefore, if I hear it and we are around those people, the next words out of my mouth are, hey, yeah, we don't say that shit. And if they need clarification, yeah, no, what you just said, that phrase, we don't say that. We're good? Cool. And I've had a few instances where maybe I've come across and said it a little bit more aggressive than I should have. But for most intents and purposes, people hear it and they're like, oh shit, okay, yeah, no problem, I get it, no problem. Like, I'll watch my mouth, sorry, it's something I say. And people are good. Like, if you express something positive, not positively, but if you express something in the right direction, with the right care, with the right wording and phrasing, you can protect your peace, you can protect the peace of people around you as well. And most grown individuals will take it in stride and be like, you know what, hey, I heard you, I get it, I'll do better.
Yeah.
Which has been
That's one that I will say, like, I struggle with because after begging people to not do it for 7 years, I'm like, I get it. I can't be frustrated that I have to say it to different people because I feel like once I say it, like, they don't do it. And if they do, usually, they are extraordinarily apologetic given the circumstances. But sometimes I'm just like, you know what? It's not meant to hurt me, but it does. And sometimes it's just easier for me to be like, you know what? I'm just going to swallow that one because I don't even want to get into it about it. And Connor.
Oh, yeah, no, there's, You might want to sit there and just let it slide. I ain't fucking letting that shit slide. Nope. I have fun telling people to not fucking say that shit.
Yeah. And I appreciate you.
I'm a tiny little bit confrontational in that way, but I am also aware that, like, I stand on the very, very high ground of that conversation. So if anybody were to rebuttal me on that, I'd be like, oh, let me have a field day. Like, if that kid on the boat fucking said shit, I'd be like, oh, you're going underwater for a long time. Like,
Connor loves to make jokes about how quickly I can clear a room, but baby, I can make everyone in this room so uncomfortable. Do you want to know why we don't say that? Let's pull up a seat.
Yeah, and you don't get to call your therapist on Monday. You just have to sit here and listen to Summer's dark humor for 24 hours.
That's like Chinese water torture.
Now here's your straight jacket and your grippy socks. Have a good night.
Hey, so
I think that's where we should end this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even know if I have another hill to die on.
That is
I think
a 40-minute
much
podcast. That's one of our longest ones to date, I believe. And I think that is a beautiful note to end on.
Great.
Well,
love you guys.
I'm yoked. That's yapped.
That's crazy of you to call yourself yoked.
I'm a small 280 pounds, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yapped has to go Cardi party.
Yep, Yapped has to go Cardi party.
Just kind of ghetto. I think that's fat phobic.
Well, if you have any hills that you personally would die on, or any wonderfully tasteful dark humor jokes, please.
Or not tasteful at all.
I don't know what YouTube allows in the comment sections, but like, subscribe, comment. We're Yapped and Yoked, and that's another episode down.
Peace.
We out.